What is up, everyone? In the past 28 days, I have gotten roughly about 80 new subscribers, and I'm very appreciative of that because it's really, really, really crazy to know that people are actually starting to like follow the channel and stuff like that. It's just weird to me. I appreciate it, even though I'm aware that a good 60 or 70% of the internet is scammers, spammers, trolls, bots, and racists and psychos and stuff like that. So it's like to at least 10 of you that actually genuinely follow my stuff because you like what you see, I really do appreciate it. It says a lot because it's very helpful to know that I'm not doing that terrible of a job at this. When I first got YouTube, I didn't think I was going to get any subscribers, honestly. I thought I was going to be able to get away with posting whatever I wanted because nobody was going to watch anyway. So just ball out and go crazy. But apparently, I mean, I'm still going to because I'm not famous or anything like that. But, it does it is kind of a confidence booster to know that I do have some support. So thanks again to, all of you. And I appreciate it. I really do. Especially considering the fact that, you know, like it's really easy to just overlook me. I'm just some dude. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started. When I was a kid, I used to watch like a lot of animated shows on television, um, and it wasn't. I didn't like care that much about the behind the scenes stuff until I saw Harry Shearer voice like use his voice to be Homer from The Simpsons, and I was like, wait, actual people do this stuff? And growing up, when I was in school, all the kids wanted to beat me up. Well, not all of them, but most of them. I was shorter than everybody else and wore glasses. That was all it took. But so in hopes to like sort of save myself from getting beaten up, I used to do funny voices, funny cartoon voices. And I used to think that was just impersonations, imitations, whatever. And then it's like there's people who actually voice these characters because it never clicked that these people were talking for these characters until like much later when I realized that was the case. Um, and that sort of made me very interested in not just like voice actors but actors in general. It made me sort of like want to figure out specifically like what goes on behind the scenes of these movies, of these films, of these cartoon series and stuff like that. So I started finding myself being more and more interested in like substance and the who's and whys of things when it comes to just fiction in general. So um, when I realized who John Kay was for Ren and Stimpy, I started to sort of realize and think a lot of writers and a lot of directors and things like that. A lot of them are just young people who just wanted to draw some weird stuff and just go crazy with it. And that was something that really clicked in my mind as time went by. Like so it ultimately became less like, oh wow, this is just an artist wanting to show off their artwork to some dudes just wanted to put up the weirdest thing that they could find, the weirdest thing they could think of on television, so that everybody else could see this weird thing. Like Ren and Stimpy. At least that's just my perception of it. Um, so it's like some people want to tell a story, some people just want to be weird. One of the few things I know that I didn't like about like a lot of animated series is they did this thing that I call it cute killing. Cute killing is basically my take on when people like make a character who is cute and adorable and yo that is adorable, and they would just go out of their way to break that character in some fashion. They just either hurt it ridiculously so, or just outright kill it. Examples being um, in Genshin Impact, for example, where everybody makes jokes about eating a little fairy girl, even though she's very useful in the game. Like I get it, it's jokes and everything like that, but it's like they want to do that to her because she's annoying, and it's like, well, why did the writers make her annoying? The idea of a writer making a cute character into some sort of like verbal, if not borderline physical punching bag, it's just a little sick to me. I don't know. That's just my judgment, but that's only because like I don't like the idea. I don't like that sort of stuff. Like it's just it's weird to me. Like there's like I understand that there is people kind of like attached to children and cute things. So seeing those things get hurt is kind of like it's supposed to garner some kind of reaction for the viewer, but it's like it feels kind of constant. Like it feels like a lot of people are trying to do things like that now. Like they'll be having characters like children characters and just making the children characters cry, and it's like, okay, this writer is a bully. Maybe I just overthink it, but that's just my thing. Like once again, I'm a nerd. I overthink things. I tend to anthill the simplest things because for me, it's never just the surface thing. There's always a deeper meaning. I always believe that there's a deeper meaning in everything. And the problem is that like folks are just too lazy to care about that deeper meaning. And I guess I'm just one of the few that don't. I'm not trying to put myself in some sort of elite status or anything. I just don't know a whole lot of people who think that way. Like I'm the kind of guy, if I see a story being like put together or anything like that, then I don't know. I just pay attention to the little stupid details. Like, I always, like, when I'm watching movies with my roommate, I always, I notice, like, color schemes and things like that. Like, when it's dark and you got this blue glow, it's like, oh, that's supposed to be darkness. But if it's dark and there's this orange glow, then it's like, oh, it must be, like, a little bit daylight outside. Nice use of color. Things like, just simple things like that. I don't want to like try to. I'm not a film critic. I'm not like anything like that. I just when I watch something, I just don't like the idea of a character getting bullied that shouldn't be bullied because I feel like that should be for the villain only because I hate villains. Like I offend people when I say I hate villains because it feels like everybody likes villains nowadays. But yeah, like that's just something that I was I felt like just sort of like talking about because I just recently finished that show Ugly Americans. Man, I remember I used to love that show. It was a show came on Comedy Central and it was so good, man. It was so good. But then it just went off the air for some weird reason. I just never got a chance to see it. So a friend of mine, connected me to Paramount Plus and I watched the heck out of that. I love that show. Um, but yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. The whole idea, like when it comes to animated shows nowadays, it's just sort of know that it went from these weird little chase sequences to this epic stuff that has now became like sort of the cornerstones for some of the most greatest things ever. It just goes to show just like how awesome just simply dueling a picture can be. And I guess part of me is just glad to sort of see that like expand and grow and become a bigger thing. But that's it. Probably might do a little twofer on this one because this one was just mostly about animated films. But I really just wanted to sort of like dip my toe in that subject. So be easy, love and peace, be safe out there, and also check out Dune. It was a good movie. It was good. I liked it. That's it. Love and peace. Be safe.